Someone over there? Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned the interplay between meditation and talking about psychotherapy, because I think, especially in the West, you can find a lot of people going to therapy for many, many years, reshuffling the same problem for
Yeah.
years, and then they're like, well, I'm still working on it, it's been 5 years, I'm still
Yeah.
doing the thing. And that sometimes makes me think that like, maybe it's not as effective, and sometimes specifically movement practice and meditation and whatnot is more helpful. From your perspective, when you work with people, do you have a rule of thumb for when you tell them like, yeah, we've been over this many times over, it's time for you to go sit down quietly and figure it out before we continue? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you have a sense for when it's time to switch?
Yeah, so that's like a really advanced technique, okay? When you start doing therapy, wonderful, but you get to a point, some people, not everybody, too much intellectualization, too much rationalization, too much mental hockey only, without the concept really penetrating to the heart. What happens? Now, there's this field that doctors are talking about more, neurodivergence, you know? There's a really interesting triad that's often overlooked and misdiagnosed. People who have experienced trauma in childhood, adolescence, okay? They develop, and love might get put into different categories. Love is what? Consistency, safety, warmth, satisfaction, fulfillment. But some people who have had bad experiences, love gets placed in a different category, such as abandonment, okay? I don't know if I'm going to be loved if I do this, if I do the right thing, because it was missing. It gets placed in emotional disorganization, or a little bit chaotic, and our personality might develop in a different way. Because these questions are really hard to answer for a person, sometimes they may go to a drug, to a substance, to an addictive behavior, because they're trying to answer these questions, but it's hard. And sometimes the tension gets stuck in a particular part of the body, you know? So yoga really helps, and there's many activities like yoga. Yoga has many different iterations, many different translations. It's great to get into the body, to release that tension from the body. You know, there's many different exercises like the laughter exercises, you know? Because we get so constricted sometimes. We get so much stuck in our inertia. The laughter exercises are beautiful. So the meditation and the yoga, sometimes silence is needed, because in therapy, I feel like the battle is won when the individual is at home in silence on their own time. As they take what's been discussed in therapy, and they can do some physical exercise, some yoga, to let go of the tension that's held somewhere, you know? The trauma, the loss of my voice, the loss of confidence, the loss of love in the heart, you know? Some traumas that people might hold on in the pelvic area, okay, or in the abdomen. Yoga and meditation are also necessary to reorganize, reframe the mind, and dissipate these things from the body. Really, really nuanced thing.